Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me. This time I have more Transformers and this is the Studio Series 86 Autobot Blaster and Eject. And you may be getting a bit of deja vu because this is about the third or fourth time that I think this mold has been reused. So this is, I guess, a bit of a reissue on Hasbro's or Takara's end, but of course me being the Transformers weirdo that I am, I'd figure let me go ahead and get this one and see what it's all about. So of course you get Auto Blaster and Eject. There's some nice packaging there on the box. Over here you got the same image that's on the front and same thing here over on the side. And here, of course, this being Studio Series 86 is big screen inspired, it says. You get your backdrop, and I guess this is related to the Decepticon shuttle ambush there, right? It specifically is when they're sending out an SOS signal while the Decepticons are attacking Autobot City, right? And you have that iconic scene where Blaster and Perceptor are fighting Rumble, Frenzy, Ravage, and Laserbeak there. So pretty cool stuff. Anyway, so I'm gonna open this up, give you guys a look at it, and see if this thing is good or not. So here we are back with Blaster out of the box. You do get your awesome little background there of the Autobot City ambush. You of course get Blaster. You get his gun, which looks it's pretty much the same as the original release. It's just painted a different color. The gun's nothing too bad. It's great looking. It's got some nice little details there, but it's the exact same weapon that you got with the original Blaster if you have that one. Cool thing is you do get a eject in solid plastic. This nice deeper, like almost like well, it's blue, gold, and white. So I'm gonna say offhand, just right off the bat, sorry, this one looks way better in comparison to the older one. The figure itself doesn't look too bad if you like Blaster previously. That those figures that we've had in Kingdom or even Shattered Glass, or I think the reissue of Twin Cast. This is the exact same figure there. You still get the same articulation. Head can move. Your arms pretty much can rotate. You got elbows. The hands do not move. They can go in and out, but that's again part of the transformation. The waist rotation still there. Kick, knee. You can move the toes, but that's again part of the transformation. But you do get your ankle articulation. So again, it's pretty much the same articulation from that other figure. You got this little hip skirt here, but that's part of the transformation as well, where he can kick back if that's a thing. So again, same thing, and this opens. Looks like you got some blue painted plastic in there, but again, this is still spring loaded, just like the original. So yeah, I'm not gonna go through a transformation for this guy because I'm just gonna link the previous video I did for Twin Cast or for Blaster. It's pretty much the exact same figure. So, it's up to you to decide if this is worth it or not. To show you some comparisons here, let me slightly move this down. Here's the original from Kingdom. Now, initially I was like, well, what's the difference? But there are slight differences, and whether that's worth it or not, it's entirely up to you. Starting up here with the head. So on the new one here, on the Studio Series, you got a white forehead and a white face versus the original, which had a silver face. The eyes are both this blue color, and the expression is exactly the same. If you look at the shoulders on the original, you had black painted detailing up here. That's no longer on the Studio Series. It's all just red plastic. I would say the more noticeable difference is this whole chest area. The yellow on the Studio Series is deeper. It does look a little better. And rather than having this clear plastic window, you now have this painted gray and and plastic line detailing, which I'm assuming, I guess, is more accurate. When you open these up, you'll see, as I showed you, you've got clear plastic, blue plastic on the original, and you've got this solid blue plastic on the Studio Series. So that's a more noticeable change. Other things that they've done is, for example, you'll see here all these the fists, the biceps, or above the forearms here used to be black. They're now like a gray. You'll see things like same thing down here, right? The legs that used to be black, all these sections are now a gray on the new one. The same thing with like the speakers and the feet and these handles on the side all used to be black. They're all different shades of gray on the Studio Series. And then further on, looking right here, so for example, from the side, you'll see that this handle that used to be all black, like I said, is two different shades of gray there. And over here in the back, it's mainly all paint differences. So over here on the original, you had black painted detailing on the knobs and some of the lines here. Over here, you don't have any of that. It's all red plastic. Same thing here. The dials that were both black. One is gray on the new one. The other one's just the red unpainted plastic. And then same thing up here. You've got some black detailing on the older one, whereas here they went ahead and painted this whole section in this gray, and you've got the dials that are both painted in gray as well versus the black here. I guess what's nice is that you can now see the little red accents, the arrows here that are nicely painted, whereas in the original they kind of blended in because they weren't painted. But other than that, it's all pretty much color differences when it comes to this guy now. I'm gonna say I do prefer this one because I like the colors a little better. They're a bit more accurate to my taste, but there really isn't much of anything that would say if I only have access to this one that I'm going to be missing out on this one. Other differences, as like I said, is the original. This is the weapon for the original. This is black. On the new one, again, it's a gray, but it's the exact same gun. So again, no major differences. The bigger difference, other than this chest piece, is this guy here. It's Eject, right? If you have the original, or if you're familiar with the original, you know that this guy was made out of completely, at least the limbs were all clear blue plastic. In this case, we got solid blue and plastic. Okay, so getting his head out of here. So I tend to prefer this one. This one's much better. The colors just fit the character and they pop a lot more than the Eject that came with the OG, which I actually have right here. This is not a bad figure and this looks really nice, but I think I prefer this one, guys. Yeah, it's all that nice painted plastic in in white, and then the blue plastic. I think the only similarities would be, I guess, the legs here. They are gray plastic, so, and even then the gray is like a little lighter on this figure, but yeah, I think this is a major difference now. Is that enough to get folks to run out there and get this new blaster? Again, that's entirely up to you. I personally do prefer the look of this one, although I do like the yellow mouthpiece on this one. I wish they would have sort of given us the white with the yellow here, but overall, I think this one the new Eject kind of wins in my book. And again, just to show you differences or similarities, this is the new one, the Studio Series. Here is the original, I guess we're going to call it, and here is the twin cast version. I do not have the shattered glass version. I believe there was a shattered glass version of this guy, but I don't have it. But as you guys can see, there the similarities or differences. These are all practically the same, except at least Twincast here has whole different color scheme going on, and that is technically a whole different. I mean, it's Blaster, but it's a newer version, I guess, of him. So it was nice that we got a repaint of this guy to get Twincast here. Just wanted to point out too is, I guess to give us better value on this set here, I really wish they would have given us something like maybe other than the color differences and this little guy is maybe give us articulated hands. For example, when we got Earthrise Starscream, that mold didn't have hands that opened or closed. In this case, his hands are just stuck in those positions. But when we got the Studio Series 86, the Coronation Starscream, that mold actually had hands that open and close. So I think to give us a bit more value, of a bit more of a push to get us to buy this one, it would have been nice if Hasbro actually had those hands on this new one as articulated. As I said, as of now, they are stuck in pretty much the exact same pose as the original here and Twincast. So again, a bit of a miss by Hasbro on that end, just to create a bit more value to get us to pay for essentially a recolor, I guess, of both these guys. But anyway, I ended up getting it. So there we go. Now, the Studio Series 86, I will say that if you have the original, you don't necessarily need to run out and get this one. It's nice, again, to have the more accurate colors, and also it's really nice to get Eject here, but I probably wouldn't feel like I'm missing out. I would say, if anything, now my question is, what are they going to do about Rewind? Because this guy here came with Twincast. So they're not going to, unless they reissue this guy with a painted, but then you're going to have to justify getting another one of these. So it'd be kind of interesting to see, what they do. I'm thinking another option is maybe if they're working on like something like Steeljaw, which came with Blaster. Maybe we'll get a repackage and we'll get like a newer Rewind that has the solid colors, because that would be really cool to get him to match. But yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting to see what they do. I don't know if you getting this new one is worth it. Again, it's entirely up to you. I got this just out of morbid curiosity. Now, because I do have it, this will be my Studio Series 86. This will be my main blaster. I'm probably going to keep the original here in his boombox mode, I'm going to call it. So would I be okay if I only had this one? Yes, I would be. Even though I do prefer the Eject from the new one. I don't know if this warrants like another, I forget, these are like almost $40 or so. But that's entirely up to you. Just want to show you what this new blaster here is all about. If I missed anything, you have any questions, please feel free to let me know, leave a comment. Otherwise, if you made it to the end, again, thank you so much for your very valuable time. I appreciate it. And I will catch you in the next video. Take care.